Hello, welcome to ThriveGroups. We're so glad to have you with us this week. And before we get started, we're going to go over our ground rules. First is that we would encourage everyone to participate, no one to dominate. So we're going to ask some questions. There are going to be discussion questions. Feel free to share your stories, but let's make sure we give everybody an opportunity. Don't dominate the conversation. And if somebody's not talking, you got my permission to encourage them to talk, encourage them to share. Yeah, if you're that person, you don't like to open up, hey, now's your big chance, okay? Second is that we start on time, we end on time. So after the group is over, we want to stay respectful of the location we're in. You can chat a little bit, a few minutes if you want to, but let's make sure we stay respectful and leave on time. We're going to jump right in. First question, what is your favorite soda? What's your favorite soft drink? For me, I would say it's root beer. Love every kind of root beer. Root beer is probably my favorite. However, birch beer is probably a little bit higher, but it's not always easy to find, especially the clear one. Love birch beer. But I would say, all in all, I would probably land on root beer. Love Virgil's. Virgil's is great. But how about you? What's your favorite soda or soft drink? Okay, we're going to read a verse here, and we're going to talk about what stands out to us. So I'm going to read it, and then we'll take a few moments and chat about it. Here we go. It's from 1 Corinthians 15, verse 55 and 56. It says, "O death, where is your victory? O death, where is your sting? For sin is the sting that results in death, and the law gives sin its power." So let's take a few moments and talk about what stands out to us in that verse. Next question here is to share about a time where you felt like you were in a valley. For me, many years ago, back before we started Thrive, I was in ministry, loved it, loved God, loved serving, but I just got a time in my life where I just felt like I wasn't doing what I was supposed to be doing. Ended up in some counseling, Christian counseling, and the guy was trying to help me through navigating this valley. But it was kind of a dark time in my life where I was just not really sure what I was supposed to be doing, didn't know what my purpose was, didn't know why I was doing what I was doing, and through God's help, I was able to pull through that. But how about you? Let's take a few moments and talk about a time maybe in your life where you felt like you were in a valley. Maybe it's a long time ago, maybe it's recent, maybe it's current. So let's take a few minutes and chat about that. Next question is this. What are some things that you're fearful about? Maybe it's finances, relationships. I don't know what it is for you. For me, I have four kids, and I wouldn't say I'm really fearful, but the thing that kind of is on my mind a lot is that they grow up to love God, serve God, and live productive lives, and that they're safe in the process. I think about that a lot. Like, I want them to be safe. I don't want them to have any sickness or injury or things like that. And so these are things that kind of come into my mind that I think about on a regular basis. But how about you? What are some things that you're fearful? Maybe that's not even the best word, but things that maybe you're concerned about, or maybe it is fear for you. I don't know. But let's take a few moments and talk about those things. Next question is this. Tell about a time you felt God's protection or guidance. For me, not too long ago, if you come to Thrive, you probably heard the story. If not, that's okay. I was driving down the road, towing my boat, and the tire blew out, shredded off the wheel. My leaf spring had fallen off the boat, and I was dragging it down the interstate. Pulled over and got some help to get that repaired. But in that time, I look back on it, and God was definitely protecting me in that situation. It could have been a lot worse. Somebody could have got injured. I could have got injured. I was going pretty fast down the road, and God just was there and just kind of divinely guided me right off. There was a perfect place to pull off right then and there. So I believe that was God's protection in that situation. But how about you? Tell about a time when you felt God's protection on your life. Okay, finally, we're going to close in prayer. Thank you guys so much for coming this week, and we're going to take a few moments and just pray. And I would encourage each person to pray for a moment or two. It doesn't have to be long or fancy, and I know sometimes we feel a little awkward, but that's okay. Let's just do it anyway. Just say a few words, maybe something you're thankful for, maybe something you're asking God for, something you're believing for, and the next person will go, and then eventually the group leader will close it up. So thank you again for joining us. Let's close in prayer.